Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thanks for tuning in today. We are talking about all things Splitgate, okay?
I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up and check.
Absolutely dark dose. I'm going to talk about my potential involvement in Splitgate going forward, and then I'm really just going to talk about the future of Splitgate and what it's going to look like in the future. And a lot of people are going in this debate of, is this a phase or is this a game that might stick around for a long time? So I'm going to give you my opinion on that and any sort of facts that I can provide about what's going on, okay? This is a game that came out of nowhere. This game is not new necessarily. This game's been out since 2019, crazy enough, and has been kind of in closed alpha back then, then we got into beta more recently, and the beta is kind of what started catching some traction. Now, Splitgate, what is it? If you don't know what it is, you might be living under a rock at this point. Everyone describes it as Halo with portals, and it's kind of cheesy to say that because it's like you're taking another game and you're just saying, oh, it's like that game, but you add another aspect to it. But that kind of is what it's like. Now, the reason people say that is the characters or the players that you use to run around with look somewhat like Spartans from the Halo universe, right? It's the similar kind of like futuristic kind of spacey armor. You're playing in kind of low grav, so you can jump a lot higher. You have a little jetpack to extra kind of boost you higher, and you're playing with guns like DMRs, BRs, DMRs, ARs, SMGs, that are all kind of like futuristic. And it's not like Call of Duty where you're ADSing in third person at all times. When you ADS on these guns, it kind of takes you into like a the Halo zoomed in. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you take the Magnum in Halo and you're just like aiming it, you're basically hip firing it at all times with the crosshairs on the screen. And then if you ADS, it like closes your FOV like really tight and puts you into like a camera kind of mode. If you guys know what I'm talking about. If you haven't played Halo, you have no idea what I'm saying. But that same type of gunfighting gameplay, of course, its main attribute and one of the things that kind of gave it its namesake, Splitgate, is the idea that you can kind of create these two gates, aka portals, that operate just like the game Portal from the award-winning series back in the day. But you shoot one portal one place, and you shoot another portal another place, and you walk through either, and you come out on the other side of the portal. Really, really cool concept. It also carries over gravity. So one of the cool ways you can utilize these portals to gain extra advantage over your enemies is if there is a three-dimensional map that you're playing on, you shoot a portal to your right, or you shoot a portal straight down, like that's got a pretty far away down below you, and then you shoot another portal somewhere else on the map. Let's just say it's straight across from you. Well, you jump into the portal from below, and your momentum from falling carries you through the portal, and you go flying across the map like this. So all of those things kind of create this really cool new strategy way of playing an FPS game. A lot of people were comparing it to like right now in Splitgate is like day one of Fortnite. When Fortnite first came out, your gaming was like, hey, I shoot people and there's a little bit of building. And in Splitgate right now with the new players and everything, it's like, hey, I shoot people and there's some portaling that I can do to make some cool plays. But in the end, when we get to the competitive talk and we get to the tourney talk, Splitgate ultimately is portaling. That's the marquee factor that will separate you from a okay shooter to a great player in Splitgate, is how well can you utilize portals to beat your enemy, whether it's just getting behind them or it's very intensive deep strategies about like triple portaling and these different strategies I've seen on the internet of people that have been playing this game since basically it released, and they are insane. Yes, it says Call of Duty on it, etc. But hey, just disregard that. I am a Call of Duty professional caster if you don't know me. But I am looking to get into casting on this game, which is why I'm going to be talking about the tourney scene and the competitive scene. These are just some this is gameplay. This is an IGN video on YouTube. I can link it in the description if you want to go look at this gameplay. It says expert level gameplay. This is just showing you the different ways you can use portals. There's that kind of momentum carrying where you're talking about. You have the rocket launcher like you have in Halo. You can see them using the portals to kind of get behind people, etc. Right? This is what makes this game fun, is there's so many different uses for your portals. Some of the intensive strategies that come out is when to take away your portal so nobody comes through, as well as you can take away just one, keep one portal somewhere else, get to a map where you can't even see the old portal, and shoot your second portal. So there's a lot of options. Enemy portals also show up, and I think in some modes you can travel through those, and in some modes you can't. But you have like an EMP grenade that you can throw at it to like disband enemy portals. So Really cool concept. The way I describe this from all the know-how that I have, especially some of the business sense that I have, we've seen Splitgate go from 200 concurrent to about 65,000 concurrent, and then all of a sudden they kind of dropped the beta and extended the beta of how long the beta is going to be around. And when they re-released this past, I guess it was this weekend or Sunday, Monday, whatever it was, when they re-released the servers, they had spent a ton of money on it. I think some of you guys saw this in the news. They gained about $10 million in funding to bolster their servers, because when they were re-releasing, they knew it was going to be hundreds of thousands of people getting into their servers all at the same time. It would fry their entire systems. So they needed a lot of money. They talked to investors, and all the hype that had kind of been garnered up around this game because of TikTokers, because of social media people. I talked about this last night. $10 million to us is a ton. When you're talking about paying for servers, paying your employees, paying for et cetera, with a company that is pretty small like this, but is trying to scale in a very quick and aggressive way like Splitgate is, $10 million is a lot of money, but it's not going to take you that far in terms of a year, right? It's not going to take you that long. You're going to burn through that money very quickly, paying for new, development teams, people, more employees, start paying for marketing, start paying for all of this stuff. Like, that money's gone so quickly, especially with how large of the servers they need now to support their game. And here's the biggest issue. They actually just made a tweet yesterday about how they can't even open up the servers until Friday, so that they fix all of their matchmaking issues, as well as all of their custom lobby and things like that. Like, they can't open up the game at all until this weekend. And the reason for that is because they want to basically not put out a game that's incomplete. They can't support the player base. It was hundreds of thousands of people sitting in a queue waiting to get in when they opened up the servers last time, essentially just stress testing what they could actually provide. And they had matchmaking open for a little bit. It didn't crash. They limited it to only custom lobbies so that they could support the game and you could still play it. And that was like a limited version of the game, because matchmaking is really where the bread and butter is. There's a ranked mode that's come out that nobody's been able to play yet. Like, there's so much that we could talk about. But essentially they said, look, we're not going to release anything else for this game. We're not going to let you touch it until we get to Friday. And hopefully we can fix all of our issues and servers can be good by then. In terms of the future of Splitgate, right now, one of the main reasons it became so popular is because Warzone, which was kind of the gaming FPS meta right now, is down bad. Hackers galore, so many issues, pretty non-responsive, development team. I mean, Raven Software's been doing a pretty good job in terms of gun balancing and things like that, but that's not what we're really looking for. We're looking for private match optimization. We're looking for anti-cheats. We're looking for these things that they haven't even touched in a very long time. And so I think it was so bad, and it's become so stale with the lack of changes, that everybody was looking for something. And a lot of the content creators kind of banded together and all started making videos about Splitgate, and that's what garnered a lot of popularity. So right now, it's the hot thing. It's the Fall Guys. It's the Among Us. And the question is, how long will this actually last? The way I picture this is you've given them a large piece of pie. Okay, you've given Splitgate a massive apple crisp pie, a freaking pumpkin pie, whatever you want to call it. You hand them a pumpkin pie, a full pie, and say, hey, here's our recipe. You've got the center of attention. You have the pie. Now the question is, what are you going to do with it? Splitgate went and got $10 million, blah, 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 blah. And they're essentially trying to take this pumpkin pie, and they're going to try to replicate it and create a massive pie, or maybe 100 pies, whatever you want to say. Let's just say they're trying to make a pie the size of a dinner table, okay? And so they basically have the next 2 months or so to take the pie that they were given, that is the FPS meta on Twitch and gaming, etc., for at least the next week, 2 weeks, month, 2 months, until Halo or Battlefield or anything comes out. And they're going to try to replicate that and expand on that and grow that to be a pie the size of a dinner table. This isn't the best analysis, but it's the best one I could come up with on the spot, okay? So now you've got a pie the size of a dinner table, and Halo Infinite comes out, okay? Halo Infinite goes chop and takes a massive chunk of this pie. It says, here, all these players that have been waiting on Halo, that have been playing quote-unquote Halo with portals, They are going to take this massive chunk of pie, maybe even a majority of the pie that Splitgate has, and say, now you're on our game. And then Splitgate will be down to a smaller chunk of pie or a smaller player base. This is the good news. The larger they make their pie right now until Halo comes out, the more players will stick around for Splitgate, okay? The thing is, they've got to separate themselves from just a Halo waiting room and become something more than that. But they have to differentiate themselves from Halo over the next 2 months and grow that pie to be as large as possible, so that when Halo does come and cut a massive piece out of that pie, the piece of pie that is left is so much larger than what it was when they were first handed that pie. So that's my opinion about the future. They've got a lot of work they need to do over the next 2 months. They have a gift and they need to use it in a very strategic and efficient way so that they can keep this game around for a long time. Now, a couple things that will help with that. Content creators making videos on their game. This is huge. This is important. This is basically free marketing, and it's huge marketing. So they need to have these content creators that are coming over from Warzone, who are stale with Warzone or bored with Warzone, or maybe striking against Activision Blizzard because of recent allegations. All of those things are totally valid. You need people playing your game on stream and enjoying playing that game on stream without having bugs or issues, so that you can make a lot more players kind of get interested in your game.